Back here at Griffith High School, I'm Mike Dewan with the Region Sports Network. Now I'm joined by our final guest, the head coach of Griffith Panther football, Coach Phil Mason. Coach, football season's upon us. What better time than now?
Yeah, really. All this hot weather we're having, it's great.
It's probably been a brutal summer in terms of weather-wise, but you and I were talking a little bit before this. It's been a busy summer for you guys. What is your overall assessment of these few months?
Yeah, well, for us, it was a real short summer because the day we got out of school was the day we left to go to Manchester team camp. We had a great time there. Several great summer scrimmages that we've got a really good opportunity to go against some great competition with Portage, Valpo, Hobart, West Lafayette, Kankakee Valley. So really good look for us in the summer. So it's just been a great summer.
Coach, yeah, looking back at your first few seasons with the Griffith Panthers, it's just been nothing but growth, and we could talk about 2024. What was kind of the difference that you noticed in this group and maybe even within yourself between that 3-win season 2 years ago and then leading back up to this 9-win season past fall?
I think you have to look at what we were starting with. You know, we were starting with a group that there were no seniors, one senior, okay, basically, coming in with that group. And then we looked at our freshmen, and those freshmen now are going to be juniors this year. And we really knew that was a talented class for us. So we kind of on the onset made a decision we were going to keep those guys together. And we kept them down and let them play JV together, let them grow together, learn our system together, build our culture with that group, and they did a tremendous job. I'm sure we could have brought those guys up during that year and maybe won 1-2 games more, but we really needed that group to be led and to stay together. And I think that's a big reason why we saw the turnaround from the 3-7 to the 9-2 year.
And you've been to a couple different stops and had plenty of success everywhere you've just about been. Year 2, I think you and I both kind of know, is always kind of a pivotal year from a new coaching regime where, okay, now we maybe have a full off season. Now the culture starts to set in. What about year 3?
I think year 3 is the year we make a big jump. I think we've talked about everybody's saying, yeah, Griffith's good. We're good, and we are good. What are we going to do to be great? What's that next step to say we're a great football team? I think for us, it's not what we've done in the weight room, because our kids do a great job in the weight room. We've built great chemistry and culture within the program, so our kids understand our expectations on and off the field. Now it's what do we do to become more physical? Because physicality is what we look at as the problem for us. All right. We've tried to strengthen the schedule a little bit, picked up Lowell, picked up Boone Grove. I think overall we'd love to be in the NCC again. And I think we'd be a contender in the NCC if we had that opportunity. Hopefully somebody will allow that someday for that to happen, because I really think that that's where we belong. But until then, we got to do the best we can, with who we play. And so, we scrimmage Hobart, we go to Highland, we go Munster, Lowell. We're playing half of them.
Yeah.
We're playing half of them. Neil Demos, Nathan Laird, and I tried to work it out. We wanted to play Andran this year. I think it would be great for us to play Andran. We know that our sectional, and I've had great experience in that sectional with Knox, John Glenn, Jimtown. They're great teams. Mishawaka Marion. That's a great sectional. You get through that sectional, and you really got a chance. You really do. We've got to be able to play to the level of that sectional, and we need to do that by playing great competition. So the stronger we can keep making our schedule, the better it's going to be for our program.
Very interesting, Coach. You talked about the culture kind of setting in a little bit a few answers ago, and the standard. One of the interesting things, from what we know about Griffith football of yesteryear, they ran the wishbone, they ran the clock out, and they oftentimes put points up on the board, similar to what you guys do. You guys take a little bit of a different approach. You have a record-breaking passer who's coming back for his junior year, and you guys like to throw the football. What was that kind of like, maybe as a challenge as a coach, to maybe take a bunch of Griffith kids that grew up and that's all they saw, and now, hey, we got to throw the football if we're still going to run the football, gash you,
right,
whatever, in between the tackles, inside zone, whatever that may be. But we're going to throw the football more than you've probably seen on Friday nights of yesteryear.
Well, I think, first of all, it comes from obviously a philosophical standpoint, but we also looked at our athletes and we evaluated our athletes. And then we created an attitude about it. Okay, we have the athletes to do this. Let's be good at it. We're still going to run the ball. We still believe in running the football, but if we can get these athletes involved and get the ball out in space, which is what we were able to do at Michigan City and a lot at Andrean, let's do that. We're going to get more kids in the program. We're going to get kids excited about the program. Kids are going to feel more of a purpose in the program. Dimitri Blanco, my former quarterback at Andrean's, running the offense for us now, and he'll come in and tell me, I don't have enough footballs to get around to these guys. That's a great problem to have.
Yeah, right.
And we've developed that skill set. And again, that's an attitude for us. But deep down, our roots are, our attitude is when we come out, we have to establish the run game, and on defense, we have to stop the run. And those are the things we know we need to do because we know that's how November football is won. But being able to throw it spreads defenses, makes that run game a little bit easier, especially at the beginning of the year. And I think it really allows your athletes to be involved and have a purpose in what we're doing.
You guys open up against a pretty tough test, week 0 against Hobart. That's probably one of the tougher week 0 opponents you could have around here. What do you want to see from your guys after maybe leading? Obviously, that's coming up on Friday before we know it. What do you want to see then leading up?
I'll flat out be honest with you and tell you what we told our kids today. Exactly what I just kind of said here. Yeah. I said, right now people are saying we're good. Okay, yeah. How about after Friday night people say we're great? What are we going to do to set that tone? What a better chance to do it against a great team like Hobart. I know what they're doing. Eric's doing a great job. We've scrimmaged them. They're big. They're physical, as they should be, and we know what we would expect from them. So what a great matchup for us. Obviously, you always want to come out of that dang thing healthy, but how about simple? We're good or are we great? And on Friday, you can establish, people can say, wow, Griffith's great.
And finish off, Coach, the expectations of this team. Can they reach that great status?
That's our goal. Yeah. That's our goal. I will tell you that, it's effort. And effort comes from within inside. And I don't believe you can coach effort. You can push effort, but can you coach it? Effort's got to come from the kids, and the kids got to understand the culture and expectations we have from them. So we need their effort to come from within inside. And if they give us the effort, they're going to get coached, and they're talented enough that great things can happen from them.
Wise words to live by, Coach. Thank you for having us out.
Absolutely.
For Coach Phil Mason, that's all from Griffith High School on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.